Hey, this is Brian.
And Shelby.
And you're listening to the Hyperspace
Pod Blast. Aren't you a little short for a podcast?
Huh? Boom. Nice. Nailed it.
Nailed it. That is a Hyperspace Pod Blast original.
Original copy of the trailer's beginning, yes.
You're welcome. Anyway, if you're wondering what we just did, stop what you're doing and go watch the Han Solo trailer if you're going to watch it. And if you're not going to watch it, you should stop listening.
That's true, yeah. We're about to spoil the ever-living crap out of it. But it's a trailer, that's what it's for. So if you're making the decision not to get into anything before the movie, then see you next week.
Okay, so let's talk about that trailer, y'all!
Yeah.
So first of all, I have to say, getting the trailer to the trailer was actually really fun.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The buzz for this movie was like 0, and then all of a sudden it was like ratcheted up to 11.
Wow!
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly like
they were flipping it on. They were flipping the buzz on.
Like,
but even at school, I didn't hear any kids talking about the Solo movie at all. But this trailer I heard discussed more today around school than when the Last Jedi trailer released.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It was every single class that came in, someone was talking about it, and someone would hear them talk about it and would be like, oh yeah, this and this and this and this. And I was just sitting back there, don't be too nerdy. You're the teacher.
Oh, hey, I had to do that at work too. Someone was like, so that new Han Solo trailer came out. And I'm like, oh, did it?
You don't say.
Really? No. I'll have to go watch that for the 50th time.
But yeah, I think this like sort of, I don't know, backdoor marketing, not giving us what we wanted. I don't know, I guess that's the way to say it, has really worked. I think it has created that instant buzz and people are like, oh crap, that's soon.
Yeah.
I can be excited now and stay excited until it comes out.
Yes.
I don't have to let my excitement lull until
That's
I wait
true.
for the next little tidbit. It's
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I thought to myself earlier today, man, they could probably get away with doing that for episode 9. And about 5 seconds later, I was like, no, they can't.
No.
It's too far.
It's too far.
Can't wait that long.
Sandy, I need water. I'm sorry. Once again, you don't get my SpongeBob references.
Anyway, overall feeling of the trailer, what do you think?
Well, I think that's one of the things that I enjoyed the most about it was the feeling, that clean but gritty feeling with the ambiance of like rebellion, but not rebellion.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things I liked most about it. Now that you mentioned it, I hadn't thought about it, but there is a complete lack of rebellion, but you can tell it's from that era.
Yeah, well, I'm talking more about feeling like Han is this rebel.
Right, yeah, a different type of, you're more James Dean type rebel.
Without a
instead
cause.
Of,
exactly.
Leia Solo or Leia Organa.
Yeah, and you don't see like little rebellion people running around. It's just someone else's point of view in the Star Wars galaxy during the height of the Empire.
Yeah, it's the underbelly dealing with the Empire instead of people that are trying to overthrow it. It's people trying to get around it.
Which is a perspective that I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Oh, I agree.
People
completely.
doing things not because it's the right thing to do, just because they're trying to survive.
And I kind of wonder myself, like, our main protagonist, obviously it's about Solo, but do you think it's going to be a group thing like Rogue One?
I think so. I think it's going to be like an Ocean's...
Yeah, an Ocean's 11, 12,
Yes.
12 and a half, 13, 17, whatever they're up to now. What about the antagonist then? Do you think it's going to be the Empire, or do you think it's going to be what looks like that ramshackled gang of
I think that's going to
samurai
be...
miscreants?
I think it's going to be the underworld against the underworld. I think that the Empire is just going to be something that gets in the way.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you. I think it's going to be two rival groups going after the same score with the Empire trying to block them both.
Yes.
So it's really going to be...
They're both trying to steal from the same...
Right, yeah. It's going to be like a 3-tiered, the Solo crew versus the weird samurai crew versus the Empire.
which I'm so excited about.
Yeah,
I keep thinking about how cool this is going to be and the different Star Wars perspective we're going to get.
Yeah, but at the same time, it feels like Star Wars.
Oh, it does.
And it feels like Star Wars before we get things like, this is obviously Han Solo, that's a Millennium Falcon. But really outside of that, I mean, what do we have? I guess the Empire, like the ties, even though we got a cool new tie. And
oh my gosh. We'll talk about that later.
yeah, that it's Star Wars without being like, look at Star Wars. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, and I also love seeing Star Wars without a lightsaber sometimes.
Dude, I'm with you there. I wouldn't be...
It's really cool to see it not about the Jedi.
I mean, think about how massive this galaxy is and how few, especially at this period, Force wielders, Force knowledge people, Force whatever. If the Force doesn't even come up, I would be like, yep, cool, let's do it. Wouldn't hurt my feelings a bit.
I agree. And you know what really adds to this overall feeling is the music.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, having the themes that we know and love with a different instrumentation and different arrangements
things
is just so
tweaked.
Cool. And this just like sounds cool.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like that like almost kind of grungy sound.
Yeah, it does. It has a very Seattle feel to it. I've seen some people say on the internet that it sounds a lot like the music in Rogue One, but I think what they're saying without knowing they're saying it is it doesn't sound like John Williams.
Right, because I mean, we actually you said that before we recorded and we watched the Rogue One trailer to see, because it, like, at first, whenever I watched it, it reminded me of Rogue One, but then I think it just reminded me of how excited I was for Rogue One.
Well, I think it reminds you of, hey, this isn't a saga film.
Yeah, this is our
the only thing we have to compare to is Rogue One. So, yes,
but
it's
Rogue
going to
One's
remind
music
you of that.
was like the piano stuff, and it was cool, and it has like that same. I guess the colors are similar. I think
it's a very dreary trailer, except for the brightness of
the
Mr.
snow?
Calrissian.
Oh, well, yeah, that. I was talking about the snow.
That's true.
That was kind of like that brightness, and then also on the beach. But yeah, like Lando is amazing.
Yeah,
it's the costumes.
Yeah,
the
his
costumes
look is amazing, and Kira's look when she's coming with that flowy cape. Talk about looking like Rogue One, though. Like, she could be Chirrut's stunt double or something.
She's like Chirrut style, but with the Krennic cape.
Yeah, there you go. It's Krennic cosplaying as
Chirrut.
Chirrut. Nailed it.
I like it. Every costume we see is just so amazing. Lando's coat.
Oh, yeah, his fur coat and, like, just his sweet yellow shirt and just everything about
the way
him.
that he, like, I mean, his facial hair is great.
It's all so good. All so good. The style, whoever's got their hand on the style of this movie
is
for everything. Like, the posters are dope. The costumes, as we mentioned, are awesome.
The lady singing, that costume is like the way it shimmers and moves with her, almost like scales.
And I like how that scene is sort of like Canto Bight meets the grunge of the cantina.
Yes, and it's like this like underground like club.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a high society feel to it, but it's definitely not Canto Bight. It's definitely more like
it's like
Jabba's
the trust fund. It's like the trust fund kids in the basement.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They want to feel like they're in a grungy place, but it costs them $45 to cover to get in. Nice.
And just the overall
and the samurai guy, that we've mentioned a couple of times, and all his cadre.
There's 12 of them.
One of whom is Bosch. If you look on the far right,
I think that's who that is.
Pause it at 51 seconds and tell me it's not, because I'm sold.
Well, do you think it could be just like a group of people that dresses that way? Or?
Well, yeah, it could be another Ubis, I guess. But I mean, they're gonna hit that nostalgia hard with that one.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
a good Easter egg.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be like the guys from the New Hope Cantina showing up in Rogue One.
I hope it isn't even said, but we get this in the visual dictionary, which I mean, honestly, just seeing this trailer makes me think visual dictionary is gonna be amazing.
I know, right? Can't wait to find out all the extra little tidbits.
In the, I guess I'm going to call it the club,
there's
that like jar thing next to the...
Yeah, right? What is that?
I know, I really want to know. I mean, everything. There's so many little things here and there. It's just fantastic looking.
Yeah, I think that's part of what makes it feel like a Star Wars movie too. There's just so much to look at.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming with all of the creatures. It feels like a full world.
And speaking of that visual dictionary tidbit, do you think the other girl member of the party is going to end up being Sana Staros?
Maybe.
I would I don't know, man. I'm usually a big proponent of that don't do small galaxy syndrome thing. But she does know Lando and Han, and they have a past together.
Maybe this is the
it would
past.
make sense. This time, I'm thinking this is like the perfect time to actually do that. If they don't take advantage of it, I'm almost going to be like, guys, why do you push it sometimes? And when you have like a underhand toss, you like, nah,
no,
we're going to make
Tom
this
Brady
a
did.
different character. Oh,
sorry.
too soon.
Too soon.
Every Patriots fan just threw their
No!
car radio out the window.
Sorry,
somehow.
guys. I don't even really care about football.
Anyway.
The alien with 4 arms.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my gosh. And I'm hoping that is like not just a side character. I hope that's part of the crew. I'm putting a crew together. I hope that's part of the crew.
He's shown in that.
Are you sure it's a dude?
Right, okay. I keep saying he. The reason I'm saying he is because initially I was like, that looks like Maz's species. And I was like, well, maybe the dudes have bigger eyes and like
extra arms.
Yeah. But then I was like, nah, you're pushing it too far, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he does, or it does look like it could be. Yeah. But I've have it in my head now that that's what male versions of Maz look like. So
oh, okay.
I've ruined myself.
Honestly, I just want more aliens that are part of the crew and I hope that they speak English.
Oh, that reading subtitles doesn't bother me a stitch.
It doesn't. It's not like. Well, that's the thing. I hope it's subtitles. I hope it's not like Chewie.
Oh yeah, right. I think it probably would be.
You think?
Yeah. I think pretty much every other alien except for Chewie. For whatever reason, we always have to guess what Chewie says or get it from
Which
Han.
adds to
it's an interesting
Chewie, in my
little...
opinion.
Well, I think it all goes back to that whole idea of Chewie is Lucas's dog. Right. So every time when a dog speaks, he speaks through his master. So
I have to say though, all of the different locations that we see in this movie, and they're very diverse. Finally, we're not getting all desert planet.
Right. And I mean, that's very Rogue One-esque as well.
We're getting beach scene. We're getting snow. We're getting that train. We're getting, which I'm like so excited
that monorail
about.
Is,
I know,
it looks angry.
The new Disney monorail is really cool, guys.
It reminds me of Blaine the Mono from the Dark Tower series, actually, just because it has
the way it rotates.
Oh yeah, that's cool. It looks angry, doesn't it?
It does look
angry. It looks like a mad train. It's crazy. Blaine the Pain.
I'm the mad train. I'm the mad cousin of Thomas.
Okay.
I'm the number 1 blue engine. Anyway.
The crazy thing, though, about that is that that's from the trailer for the trailer. It's not even in the actual trailer. I know, it's not even in the trailer. We don't see the Imperial recruiting station. Yeah.
I guess that's what that is. I don't know. Which I don't think that's his initial recruitment.
Yeah, I think that's going to end up being
part of the heist.
Kicked out, and it's part of the heist. We're going to get another one of those Imperial infiltrations because, it's not Star Wars without that.
I'm so stoked on all of the stuff that's going on there. I bet you're going to find a lot of Easter eggs in that location.
Oh, for sure. Anytime there's like a wide shot where you see lots of stuff, there's going to be 37 million different things to pick out there. Like you've already noticed an R2 unit in there.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that.
So some of the it's new tech, but technically old. It just I mean, it's new to Star Wars. Yeah. It's new to Star Wars and new to us. I love the look of it, the very 80s feel that it has.
It's like our good friend Mike Pasquale said. It's like they basically took those Kenner vehicle lines and were like, all right, we're going to put all these in the movie.
# make Kenner canon.
Yeah. We're sorry that we took your money for stuff that wasn't in the films before, so here you go. Remember 40 years ago?
That speeder that Han drives is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's like very young Han.
And it reminds me of the Coruscant speeders, but then on ground, instead of being flying in the air, which is a cool, I don't know, sort of somewhat synchronous.
Well, you liked his watch.
Oh, dude, yeah. His watch at the beginning when he's flipping switches, it's like the Apple Watch of Star Wars. Looks rad.
The new tie, though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's like. It looks like a TIE bomber, but with instead of like, I don't know, like a side gunner or something.
It makes me think of like the unbalancedness of a B-wing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's like a TIE bomber, but someone grabbed one of the little things and squeezed it and made it
Squished
smaller.
it.
Yeah. But it looks like that side shoots, so I'm thinking maybe it might be like a turret gunner that can rotate all the way around or something like that.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
It could be like the precursor to the Thai special forces that you see with two pilots back to back, like Finn and Poe take in The Force Awakens.
You know what's interesting is we're talking about vehicles, but the iconic vehicle that has kind of, we get to see her in her prime.
Yeah, it's weird to see it all cleaned up.
I don't think that Lando is the original owner.
Original owner? Maybe not, but I think he owns it at the time of the movie because there's that one scene where he and the droid do that little thing to each other.
Oh my gosh, I love
he's
that.
Piloting
that droid! I
know.
almost forgot.
That droid is lit.
What is it, L337?
Yes. Yeah, I always want to call it Leet, but it's not quite Leet.
L3 is cool.
Yeah.
And I think that Kira is the original owner of the Falcon.
There, you heard it here first, folks.
Not first. Definitely not first. But that's what I believe. I think it's hers.
You think it's going to be hers at the beginning of the movie?
Either that or I think maybe she's like the manufacturer delivering it to Lando.
I don't know.
It's his purchase.
I think she and Han are going to be connected from the beginning.
Really?
And then we're going to meet everyone else. Yeah, I think the scene with the two of them in the speeder is very early on in the movie.
Yeah, she looks younger. I think she has a different hairstyle.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of done up to be maybe younger. Maybe that's like a flashback type scenario.
That's what I was thinking. That's the kind of
maybe
feel
it
that
starts
I got.
with a scene like Rogue One and then we skip forward.
Which, oh my gosh, by the way, the dice are on the speeder.
Yeah. Minor detail, folks.
Can't handle. Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
that would have been a sin, honestly, not to have those appear.
Right?
I'm sure they thought about that way back in pre-production, but
and
kudos for it.
These new faces that we have for old characters, what do you think?
I think everybody looks great. Yeah, like I was saying on Twitter today, I don't watch the trailer and think, oh man, he's really pulling off Han Solo. I think, that's freaking Han Solo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like there's no disconnect in my head. It's working. Like
the mannerisms.
Oh, for sure.
Were great.
Especially that I'm the one who knows who you really are or whatever. And he's like, what's that? Yeah, that. And then at the beginning when they're driving the speeder, he does that look back and he has that sort of tight-lipped, cocky smile.
He does his smile very well.
Oh, and when he's getting ready to face off against the samurai people, he does that nonchalant little flip of the holster button like he does in A New Hope when he's about to shoot Greedo.
Oh my gosh. And the at the end, we're fine.
Oh yeah, that was good. That maneuver too, where he spun and he actually hit the tie with the Falcon, that was dope.
That was so good.
And then Space Kraken.
Oh my gosh, what even?
I know.
I feel like we're gonna get a lot of really cool creatures.
Yeah, and I'm 100% on board for that. We're getting aliens, we're getting creatures. This movie has Brian written all over it.
It really does.
I know. But yeah, it's funny too, like Han doesn't really freak out about the space worm in Empire Strikes Back. Probably because he's like, this is nothing. You should have seen the other guy.
I love everyone else in the Falcon in that moment freaking out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so,
and he's just kind of like, whoops.
Yep. I think Lando, gosh, amazing, right?
Yeah, his look is just
the feel of Lando. That
he doesn't even say anything.
That
really
debonair.
He barely even does anything. It's just like nailed it.
Yep.
Lando.
100% Lando.
Yep.
The lightning.
Oh yeah, that whole scene that you get part of it in the pre-trailer and then part of it in the trailer with the whole like space storm and who knows where we actually are. It looks like we have to be in deep space somewhere because there's a Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer coming out of that. Oh my gosh.
But who knows? It might be closer to atmosphere and there's a storm. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll figure it out. But it looks rad. Very nice visual.
So what are your predictions overall?
Predictions? It's going to be awesome. That's my main prediction.
Oh, I think I will agree.
But yeah, as far as like what happens, I don't know. I think we already kind of covered the whole idea that it's going to be like that three-way Han's crew versus the samurai crew versus the Empire trying to stop them both. I think that's going to be the setup. What they're trying to do, something for Jabba, that would be really cool.
Oh.
I would like to see the whole past relationship that Han obviously has with Jabba come into effect. Maybe there's a certain bounty hunter other than Bosch that shows up.
Oh my god.
Who knows? Maybe. And who knows? Maybe this group that we're calling the samurai fellas are ex-Mandalorians and they all lost their armor.
Oh my god, you just blew my mind.
And this is what they do.
I don't know what to call them yet, because like they're not samurai, but
no,
I mean, it's just
obviously
like they're
not,
inspired.
Yeah,
it's just
it reminds
their
me
armor is
actually.
cool. It's very Mad Maxy.
It is,
but it also makes me think of like Ewoks, but people.
Yeah, that sort of primitiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds me of Terex in the Poe comic, where he takes his stormtrooper armor and like tweaks it and makes it look all samurai-ish as well. Obviously, they don't line up. The Terex does it way after this, but the effect, the visual looks similar to me because it looks like his helmet could have at one point been a stormtrooper helmet.
I really hope that the leader is a lady.
I can see it being Kira just because of the color scheme that she has and that this character has.
Oh, like Kira's playing almost like a double agent or something?
Or we're seeing all old stuff where Kira and Han were hanging out. They had a falling out. Now they're rivals.
Oh.
And this is Kira's group and Han is with his different new crew now, maybe.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're going to see the meetup of Han and Chewie?
I think they've already told us that we are.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like I read that somewhere. But
okay. Are you excited?
Yes and no. That's a story that got told in the EU, and I'm fairly happy with leaving it that way. But if it's something, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? That's going to be a first act, maybe even another flashback type telling stories situation.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool.
I also think that Kira's going to double cross him at the end.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I think that
backstab her?
I think she's going to backstab him, which I'm going to love. And I also think that scene where they're in the snow, where he says, "Are you in?" or something like that, and Chewie says something else that's a yes.
Yeah.
I think that is either something's gone wrong with the heist and like most of their crew is flaked out and he's asking if they still want in, or I think that they've just been double crossed and he's asking for another job.
Maybe. I'm going to go with the easy road here and say that they're not trying to misdirect us, and that scene just lines up.
Maybe. I just like the idea.
Occam's razor approach.
I think also I just like the idea of this all unfolding, and even if it's a successful heist, they're like, so this is my next thing that I'm gonna do. You in?
Yeah. You said something about how like the movie just ends there with leaving it open ended. He's gonna keep getting into this.
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of what
that's what Han does. Right on. Yeah, it occurred to me
long.
at one point when I was watching the trailer for the 18,000th time, maybe. What if there's Kira and then she's playing another person because they're twins?
Wait, what?
Yeah, what if?
More twins? More space twins?
Yeah, more space twins. What if it's Kira v. Kira? Kira is both on Han's team and
I think you watched too much
samurai.
Star Wars about twins.
Hey, listen, you have an out there theory about stuff. I
Really?
have one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. For some reason, it just because she looks so different in different scenes, I'm like, maybe she's playing a different person.
She's a master of disguise.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah.
Like that's her thing. Like that's what she's really good at.
True. I like it.
Which would be also amazing to show off whoever's doing all these costumes.
Yeah, very true. Maybe she has a son who's a code breaker.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
universe.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up DJ. No shame.
Guys, but what if?
Yeah, what if everyone's actually DJ?
What if everyone in Star Wars is related and they all kiss their brother?
And they're all DJ.
Oh my god, okay. Off the rails.
Yeah.
Off this monorail of a scary mean train.
Zing. So what else do you have to add? Anything that we've missed?
Honestly, I'm just so excited for L3. I love droids, and I can't wait. It's supposed to be a female droid, yes?
Yeah, I believe it's a mocap character and a female is playing the role.
See, I want to know what her personality is. I'm hoping for somewhere between K2 and Chopper.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It would be cool if it was maybe more of a C-3PO vibe, just because things are kind of skewing toward that.
Yeah, that's true.
Sassy, sarcastic.
We have R2, we have Chopper, we have K2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I think something more refined. Actually, like probably a more refined version of K2.
Yeah, or someone just really slick, because, it looks to me like it's in league with Lando.
Yes.
So a droid that's sort of female droid counterpart to Lando, pre-Lobot.
Okay.
Be pretty cool. Oh, one other thing I did want to mention, speaking back to where I said having Jabba involved would be cool, it does look like toward the beginning when you see Han looking up and the Falcon is taking up most of the screen, it looks kind of dreary and foggy, but it does look like you can see twin suns at some point. So maybe a little credence to that Hutt influence.
Maybe.
And it also does look a lot like the Cantina or Jabba's Palace when you see, I think it's right after the I'm getting a crew together, you see it looks like Han from the back and he's looking at a table of what are sure to be miscreants. So
I agree. I think that has to be just a group of ruffians.
Yeah, I'll be surprised, honestly, if we don't land on Tatooine at some point.
Really?
I
They're
will.
going to go back to Tatooine?
Well, because obviously Han does a lot of business there, so,
Yeah.
you know.
So to wrap it up, what do you think right now about how this movie is going to be received?
Oh, man. Ask me that 36 hours ago, and I would tell you probably the lowest grossing new Star Wars movie so far. But now I think...
Do you think it's going to beat Rogue One?
I do.
Really?
Yes, I do.
You know, honestly, I think you might be right because this plays on people like me who like new Star Wars and this new non-saga way of telling stories. But it also pulls in enough nostalgia and enough of familiarity for people who really enjoy that.
Yeah, I would agree.
From a legacy character.
Yeah, it's kind of like smashing the two Venn diagrams together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that it's a really good harmony between people who really like the original trilogy and people who really liked, say, Rogue One or just Star Wars today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be something for both fans. Like you said, it's got the characters people can cling to from the saga that they know, and it's a fresh new take on things for the people that don't have that nostalgia for the films that are called episode something.
Right. I think it's going to be a huge crowd pleaser.
Yeah, and it just looks so good.
It's so good. Fun. Yeah, it looks like a fun movie. Like I'm going to go in and just I'm not going to be like scared.
No, this is a popcorn and a soda having a great time kind of movie.
Laugh and like chuckle at like just the stuff that Han says and does, as well as these other characters. I think everyone's going to go in. You don't have to worry about your favorite character dying. You don't have to worry about like what's going to happen and all of like the emotional attachments you have.
Right, yeah. It's going to be a very different feel from the past two movies, obviously.
It's like Lucasfilm was like, okay, guys, we know.
Yeah.
Here, this is to help.
You could tell they were going in that direction with who they hired to do it initially. And to be honest, I was not sad to see those two guys go. And I was very happy to see Ron Howard get put on. So
I think this is just going to be, like I said, a huge crowd pleaser. Everyone's going to walk out and it's going to be a general consensus of, I had a lot of fun watching that movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So that's all we have today.
It is. Yeah.
Thanks for waiting an extra day for our podcast.
Or waiting a whole lot of time if you get it in the evening.
Yeah. But we realized that, hey, we're not going to bombard you with two topics at once.
Right. We wanted to do this, but if we had done that, we would have put out an episode in the morning and the evening. That just seemed like a lot. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, you can tell us all your excitement about Solo Trailer at hyperspace_pod on Twitter.
Email us at hyperspacepodblast@gmail.com.
Or check out our website, hyperspacepodblast.com.
And that'll do it, folks.
See you around, kid.
Zing! Bye! Bye!